Alright, let's dive deeper into the Meghan Markle-Chris Rock showdown, because this isn't just a celebrity squabble. It's a fascinating collision of Hollywood ambition, public perception, and the razor-sharp edge of comedy. The initial headlines surrounding Meghan's latest Netflix deal were all about power, creative control, and the next chapter in her Hollywood journey. But Chris Rock's stand-up routine detonated that narrative, turning a potential PR triumph into a full-blown crisis. Rock, a comedic heavyweight known for his fearless takes on race, culture, and celebrity, didn't tiptoe around the subject. He went straight for the jugular, dissecting Meghan's Hollywood aspirations and questioning the substance behind the hype. The setup was classic Rock. Conversational, observational, drawing the audience in with relatable humor before dropping the bombshells. He riffed on celebrity culture's obsession with fame over talent, then pivoted directly to Meghan's Netflix endeavors. "She's got all the drama of a royal scandal," Rock quipped, pausing for effect, "but none of the talent." The crowd erupted, not with polite chuckles, but with knowing laughter that suggested they'd been thinking the same thing. The real sting for Meghan wasn't just that Rock made the jokes. It was that the audience instantly understood them. He didn't need to explain the context. The sentiment was already simmering in the public consciousness. Rock doubled down with a line that's now plastered across tabloids. Netflix should call it the talentless show. It was an unfiltered jab at Meghan's creative credentials, or, in his view, the lack thereof. And because it came from a comedian celebrated for cutting through PR spin, the line carried weight far beyond a casual insult. This wasn't a late-night talk show jab or a throwaway meme. This was Chris Rock reframing Meghan's entire Netflix presence as built on notoriety, not skill. And here's where the comedy slams into cold, hard business reality. Industry insiders have confirmed that Meghan and Harry's latest Netflix contract is worth significantly less than their original 2020 mega deal. That's not just about the paycheck. In Hollywood, a reduced contract signals a loss of confidence. It's a sign that the streaming giant no longer sees you as a guaranteed ratings magnet. When Rock mocked the deal, he wasn't just poking fun. He was shining a spotlight on a truth the Sussexes would rather downplay. Netflix is no longer paying them top-tier money because they're no longer considered top-tier assets. The numbers bear this out. The Harry and Meghan docuseries generated massive initial interest but quickly declined in viewership after the initial binge-watching frenzy. Live to Lead struggled to crack Netflix's own trending charts, and Harry's Heart of Invictus, while critically well-received, failed to achieve broad audience penetration. For a company investing millions, this is a problem. In the streaming business, your past performance is your pitch for future funding. If the content underperforms, even if it dominates the news cycle for a week, the next contract shrinks. And Rock's routine didn't let viewers forget that pattern. Perhaps the most damaging aspect of Rock's bit is that it echoes what many in Hollywood are already saying behind closed doors. Several industry figures, speaking anonymously to trade publications, have described Meghan's brand as controversy-led rather than content-led. That's not a compliment. It implies that her primary selling point to platforms like Netflix isn't a proven track record of producing must-watch shows. It's her ability to generate buzz, regardless of whether audiences stick around for the actual work. When a voice as prominent as Chris Rock's puts that subtext into a punchline, it ceases to be industry gossip and becomes public perception. When Chris Rock speaks, people listen. And not just because he's funny, he's a cultural barometer. His stand-up has a history of reflecting uncomfortable truths that people already sense but haven't yet articulated. By mocking Meghan's Netflix output as the talentless show, Rock gave voice to a creeping suspicion in both the public and the industry that her creative reputation rests on her fame, not her filmography. What makes this even more potent is that comedy clips travel faster and stick longer than carefully crafted press releases. A single Rock punchline will be replayed thousands of times, embedded in social media reaction videos, and remembered long after official statements are forgotten. Behind the scenes, entertainment insiders are blunt. Netflix isn't betting on Meghan's ability to deliver award-winning content. They're betting on her ability to draw attention. It's a calculated, numbers-driven decision. The Sussex name may no longer guarantee critical acclaim, but it does guarantee coverage. Whether the press is praising or criticizing, the clicks still come. This is the same business logic that fuels reality TV. Controversy keeps people watching, even if they're hate-watching. And for Meghan, that means her role has shifted from creative visionary to lightning rod in Netflix's eyes. For someone who has worked so diligently to shape her public image as a serious humanitarian and storyteller, becoming the subject of a Chris Rock roast is a branding nightmare. In the modern media ecosystem, reputation is currency, and right now, her currency is depreciating. Every high-profile jab, especially from someone with Rock's stature, chips away at the polished, purposeful brand she's painstakingly built. The real danger lies in this shift in perception happening at the industry level. When executives, producers, and investors start viewing you as controversy content instead of quality content, the types of opportunities you receive change, and usually not for the better. The internet didn't just laugh at Rock's jokes. It amplified them. Clips of his Meghan bit flooded TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube within hours. And the comments were telling. He said what we were all thinking. Finally, someone in Hollywood calling her out. This is why Chris Rock is a legend. No one's off limits. Even users who claimed not to care about royal drama weighed in, saying the joke resonated with them because it spoke to the broader issue of celebrity culture, where people become famous for the sake of being famous. Once a roast goes viral, it's nearly impossible for the target to reclaim the narrative. The joke becomes the shorthand for your name in the public mind. The worst part for Meghan isn't just the joke itself. It's that she's now the punchline. In the entertainment industry, being mocked by a major comedian can sometimes be a career-enhancing moment, especially if you're perceived as a respected player who can take it in stride. But when the joke strikes at the core of your perceived weaknesses, it reinforces those weaknesses rather than playfully poking fun. Chris Rock's roast didn't feel like a random swipe. It felt like a verdict, a cultural one, that she's more spectacle than substance. For someone who just signed a new Netflix deal, having the most memorable conversation about it be a comedian calling it the talentless show is a PR disaster you can't easily recover from. This latest Netflix deal was supposed to signal stability, creative credibility, and a long-term vision for Meghan Markle. Instead, thanks to Chris Rock's fearless comedy and the public's appetite for an unfiltered take, it's now shorthand for everything her critics have been saying for years. She can issue press releases and give polished interviews, but in the cultural record, the headline that will stick is simple, sharp, and devastatingly repeatable: the talentless show. So here's where we stand. We've seen the headlines, the deals, the roasts, and the reactions. We've watched Meghan's Netflix chapter take a dramatic turn, and we've heard Chris Rock's brutal punchline reverberate across social media. The question now is, what does this all mean for Meghan Markle's future in Hollywood? Is she still a powerhouse brand with untapped potential? Or is she facing an uphill battle to redefine her image and prove her creative worth? The answer, it seems, is far from clear.